To all you Jaguar fans, to all you Jet fans, get over it. Trevor Lawrence is by far and away the best quarterback in this draft class. There is no way you can tell me that Justin Fields has anything on Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a better thrower, he's a better runner, he's a smarter quarterback. He is all around a better quarterback than Justin Fields and every other quarterback in this draft class.
Coming into the year, Trevor Lawrence was set to be the number one NFL draft pick, and it was the clear-cut choice. Well, things have changed a little bit because based on the Sugar Bowl, Justin Fields might have outplayed him just a little bit. So, listen, we have to ask the question, is Trevor Lawrence the clear-cut number one pick after his Sugar Bowl performance when Justin Fields was able to dominate him on the football field?
I just don't understand how this is a question. To all you Jaguar fans, to all you Jet fans, get over it. Trevor Lawrence is by far and away the best quarterback in this draft class. There is no way you can tell me that Justin Fields has anything on Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a better thrower, he's a better runner, he's a smarter quarterback. He is all around a better quarterback than Justin Fields and every other quarterback in this draft class. Trevor Lawrence is going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar, whether you like it or not. Just deal with it.
Okay. Well, I don't feel as strong as you do. I do believe Trevor Lawrence is a lock for the number one pick. I think that this whole idea of him being touted as somebody who could fall past the number one and fall into the lap of the New York Jets is just laughable at best. You know, this is what we've dealt with last year, right? Was Joe Burrow was questioned on possibly not being the first round pick because, his ceiling wasn't as high as somebody like Justin Herbert or somebody else like that, but his floor was there. I think this is the safest pick. Trevor Lawrence is definitely the safest pick. In my opinion, and we will get into this all throughout the offseason as it leads up to the draft and then afterward, I think Justin Fields will have the better pro career. I think he's ready-made for the pros than Trevor Lawrence is right now. And I think Justin Fields has had plenty of opportunity to showcase his abilities, and the Sugar Bowl was just another step in that direction, saying that he is the clear-cut number two for this draft class. He has a very high floor, not as high as Trevor Lawrence, but his ceiling is much, much higher. His ability to take the ball and basically do what he wants. I liken him to Deshaun Watson. I mean, if you look at what he does on a football field, Justin Fields is Deshaun Watson 2.0 in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely close. Justin Fields has truly shown why he is the number two pick, and definitely in that bowl game against Clemson, he truly showed why he is going to be taken over Zach Wilson. He is the more polished quarterback out of the two of them, and he's ready. He is ready to take on a job. He is not going to be what the Jets have known in Sam Darnold as, kind of a failed experiment. And Sam Darnold, we thought was going to be a quarterback, an NFL-ready quarterback coming into the season, but that wasn't exactly what we saw through his career. And Justin Fields, he's been great at Ohio State. He really hasn't had great weapons in his career, but we saw last season that he's able to have a great season with little weapons and not make many errors. And this season, he had a couple games where it kind of made his stat line look a bit weak, but overall, Justin Fields did not have a terrible season. You also have to take into account the circumstances that were going on in 2020, as we all know. So looking at what Justin Fields is able to do in the biggest games of his career, he looks spectacular. And that's why he's going to be taking over Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson coming from BYU, a smaller school, a guy who has the potential to be a Patrick Mahomes type. You're not going to take a guy like Zach Wilson, who's a project who needs to be groomed, when you can get a guy like Justin Fields, who's going to help the Jets right now.
Patrick Mahomes being linked to Zach Wilson is such a disrespectful move on the part of these sports pundits who think they know what they're talking about. Patrick Mahomes is a generational talent at the quarterback position. Zach Wilson may be able to have the strong arm, but his accuracy is nothing like that. His mobility is not like Patrick Mahomes. His ability to throw from different arm angles is completely different from Mahomes. On top of the fact that he is not the same clutch quarterback when it comes to key moments and situations. Patrick Mahomes obviously has had time in the NFL to showcase those moments, but just can't imagine that there's another Patrick Mahomes waiting in the wings just a few years after that he got drafted. I just can't imagine it. But I want to get back to the idea here between Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. And just to bring up why this is even a conversation in the first place, Justin Fields threw for 385 yards and 6 touchdowns in the Sugar Bowl, while Trevor Lawrence threw for 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, and both of them each had an interception. The issue here is that Ohio State's defense was so much stronger than Clemson's. That's the thing. When you take into account these games, you have to imagine that each defense is not made exactly the same. They are not identical. They are not going against the same defense. If they were, then that's one thing. Then you could honestly say that, hey, you know what? Justin Fields did a much, much better job. But that's not the case. Clemson's defense is horrid. They are despicable. And I've said it before, and I will continue to say it. I do not believe in Dabo Swinney outside of his ability to groom Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. Outside of those two players, let's see if he's even a top 5, top 10 college coach. Because he hasn't been able to do it without them. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it moving forward. It's just not in the cards for me. Trevor Lawrence is just one of those guys, though. He's a lock. This conversation is over and done with. I think we need to just put it to rest. There's not much more to say on this.
No, there absolutely isn't. For all of you people thinking Justin Fields might be better than Trevor Lawrence, get a grip on life, because you're being ridiculous. Trevor Lawrence has proven through his entire career so far that he is far and away better. He has had a much worse team to deal with. He has taken his team through the college playoffs. He's only lost 2 games in his entire career. I mean, this kid is an absolute stud.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, Clemson has had a lot of players drafted in the first and second round, both on offense and defense in the last few years. Ohio State has lost just a very few players, on top of the fact that Trey Sermon, the running back for Ohio State, had 31 carries, 193 yards, and a touchdown to go along with Justin Fields' 385 and 6 touchdowns. So there's a lot to this whole idea. You know, you can say Trevor Lawrence is going to be better than Fields. I have yet to see it. Trevor Lawrence, in my eyes, is the safe pick here. Justin Fields is the pick that will, if it hits, will get you far and away, and everybody will be like, how is he not the first pick?